A budget consists of two parts: the expenditure budget and the receipts budget. The expenditure budget shows how much the government intends to spend and where in a financial year. The receipts budget indicates how much revenue the government intends to collect and from which sources. Let's see what the budget cycle looks like for every budget of the union government and state governments. You must have seen on television the finance minister delivering the budget speech in Parliament on 1st of February every year. It used to be on the last working day of February every year until 2016. However, presentation of the budget in Parliament is just one of the several steps in the budget cycle of the union government. The budget cycle has 4 stages: budget preparation, enactment of the budget, implementation, and audit. In the budget preparation stage, the expenditure budget for the next financial year is prepared in detail by the Finance Ministry and Spending or Administrative Ministries. And the receipts budget for the forthcoming financial year is prepared in detail by the Finance Ministry. For instance, the preparation of unit budget for 2021-22 would have started in September 2020 and got completed in January 2021, that is over a period of 5 months. In the enactment stage, the government gets the authorization from Parliament to levy taxes and also for drawing money from the Consolidated Fund of India for carrying out expenditures as proposed in the budget. This stage starts with budget presentation in Parliament on 1st of February and gets completed by the end of March, that is, before the beginning of the new financial year. A point to be noted is that the government does not need Parliament's authorization to fulfill the expenditure requirements for all kinds of constitutional provisions, like the budget for the Election Commission of India, and for meeting all legal commitments, like paying interest for its borrowing in the previous years. The implementation stage starts from 1st of April, that is the beginning of the financial year, and goes on until 31st of March in the following calendar year. The Finance Ministry leads the implementation of the proposals made in the receipts budget, that is, for mobilization of revenue for financing the government's expenditure commitments. The spending or administrative ministries take the lead on implementation of the expenditure budget proposals for their respective sectors. The Office of the Comptroller and Auditor General, that is CAG of India, is responsible for auditing government's accounts once the financial year is over. The Constitution of India has established the independence of the CAG in this regard. The Office of CAG undertakes both financial audits and performance audits relating to financial operations of the government. The reports of these audits are tabled in Parliament and they are taken into account by the various parliamentary committees. These committees subsequently are expected to seek explanations from or make suggestions to the government. Budget documents look intimidating, but they turn out to be interesting once you take the plunge. In the union budget, as also in state budgets, we find figures of 3 different kinds: budget estimates or BE, revised estimates or RE, and actuals. Budget estimates and revised estimates for any financial year are not the actual figures for government's receipts or expenditures during that financial year. They are only estimates or projections. But actuals for a financial year are the figures for receipts or expenditure by the government during that year, which have been audited and certified by the CAG of India. Union budget for 2021-22, for instance, has budget estimates for 2021-22, revised estimates for 2020-21, and actuals for 2019-20. The same is true of states' budgets. Experts speak on budgets makes the issues involved sound much more complex and technical than what they really are, because experts use a lot of jargon. But the discourse on budgets can be de-jargonized and demystified. For instance, have you ever wondered what on earth is a fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit is the excess of government's total expenditure in a year over its total receipts that year before taking up any fresh borrowing. Thus, fiscal deficit for a year indicates the amount of borrowing to be made by the government that year. Please visit the Budget Basics sections on the Open Budgets India portal to understand and explore more about budgets in India at different levels of governance. Thank you for watching the video.